Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I, Monalisa Banerjee, welcome you to the annual ICT 4D Conference 2017 in Hyderabad, India. Well, before we get started, maybe ask you to switch your phones from silence. We also want you to engage on social media. We have a Twitter handle, and you can hashtag at ICT4D 2017. We also have an account at ICT4D Conference. You may engage with us that way too. I also would like you to refer to the welcome letter in the conference bag for floor plan, exhibitor overview, the Wi-Fi code for connected and stay always connected to the conference is ICT4D 2017. Lunch and refreshments in exhibition area would be next door in Hall 4. We would also like you to join sessions on sketch.org, and we would also request you to leave feedback after sessions. Thank you, and we will be beginning shortly. I would now request Scarlett Horror, Executive Vice President Overseas Operations, Capital Payment Services, to
Good morning. So I'm Scarlett Horror, and on behalf of Capital Services and the entire organizing team, I want to welcome everybody to Hyderabad and the 9th Annual Licensing Conference. We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our partners and sponsors. For the insurance, I thank our partners and sponsors who made the conference possible through their hard work and generous donations. The conference itself is an excellent example of cross-sector partnerships that are so essential to leveraging ICT in service of the Sustainable Development Goals. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has sent us a welcome message. Pleased that we are holding this year's ICT conference here in Hyderabad. He writes, and I quote, "We live in an era where technology plays a vital role in society. The transformative potential of technology is also immense. That is why the government of India is focusing on greater use of technology for the welfare of the people of India through the digital program. I wish the conference all success. I am sure that there will be a fruitful exchange of ideas leading to tangible outcomes." We thank Prime Minister Modi for his kind welcome and sentiments, and our consortium partner KSIConnect for securing this important letter of support. So look around you. We have 800 counting individuals from 74 countries joining us today, representing over 300 organizations, government agencies, corporations, and social enterprises, universities and foundations, local and international NGOs. We have C-level executives, program project managers, and subject matter experts in disciplines ranging from agriculture to health, education, finance, information technology. It is the diversity of this audience that makes this conference so valuable. Here you will have an opportunity to share in the experience it represents and to participate in the cross-discipline, cross-sector dialogue critical to advancing the use of ICT in development. I would now like to invite the Honorable K.T. Ram Rao to the stage to give the opening keynote for our conference. Kalvakuntla Taraka Ramarao, known by his popular nickname KTR, is Telangana's Minister for Information, Technology, Electronics, and Communications. KTR is passionate about Telangana's development.
Under his leadership, Telangana has embarked on innovative programs that are making Telangana a leader in harnessing the power of technology for its citizens. These programs include the T-Hub, which is fast becoming the largest center for startups and entrepreneurship in India. TASK, the Telangana Academy for Skill and Knowledge, which is addressing unemployment in Telangana and demanded by today's industries. And Wi-Fi, an initiative focused on making Hyderabad the first Wi-Fi enabled city in India, putting information at the tip of its citizens and strengthening Hyderabad's position as the second largest exporter of IT within India and a global lifestyle destination. KTR holds a bachelor's degree in microbiology from Nizam College, a master's of science degree in biotechnology from the University of Pune, and a master's of business administration in marketing and e-commerce from Mara College, City University of New York. So please welcome the Honorable KTR.
Thank you and good morning.
ये इनपुट इसी से ले रहा है.
You are a very
ये
silent
खोज
club.
क्या?
I hope there is. I hope you've had a good reception in Hyderabad. I hope it's been a good stay so far. So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you and thank you for this opportunity, David, and to ICT for D. First of all, I'd like to welcome you to the city of Hyderabad and to the state of Telangana. And for those of you who are not aware, our state, the state of Telangana, is the newest and youngest state in India, formed just about 3 years ago. We call our state the startup state of our country, and we work with a startup bent of mind as well. We're not burdened by legacy. We have made a clean slate beginning on a lot of new fronts, especially in information technology. Today I'm here to share with you and to give you a brief glimpse of this journey that we have undertaken on the path of digital transformation in Telangana. I'll start with telling you about our Digital Telangana initiative, in line with Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's Digital India initiative as well. The initiative of the government of Telangana is something that has been called revolutionary, transformative, and it basically helps, in line with the thinking of ICT for D, to democratize access to internet across the various sections of our society, and also to bring in transparency by providing all government services online. Since its inception about 3 years ago, the state of Telangana has taken several path-breaking and pioneering initiatives to ensure that digital transformation is brought about quickly. We've launched what is called as T-Fiber, the Telangana Fiber Grid project, which is a novel initiative for any government possibly in the world, not just in India. What we basically aim to accomplish by way of T-Fiber is by way of piggybacking on a water supply project, which is being currently undertaken by the government of Telangana. We will be laying nearly 150,000 kilometers of new water pipeline across the state of Telangana, and we are trying to accomplish portable drinking water connection to each and every one of our 1 million households in the state of Telangana. While we are doing this project, what we've thought is we'll piggyback on this project and also lay the fiber optic network to each and every household, so that each and every one of the 1 million houses in the state of Telangana will not only have a portable drinking water connection, but will also have a broadband internet connection. Now, the citizens of this state and the kind of possibilities and the kind of opportunities this can unfold are only there for you to imagine. How it can revolutionize the space of health, education, or e-commerce opportunities. And this is a project that is set to be accomplished and set to be finished in the next 18 months. This will make Telangana not only the first state in our country, but also one of the first few provinces or one of the first few regions in the world where each and every citizen can claim and can boast of a broadband internet connection. Now, once this is completed in full shape, not only health, education, but also we believe that new business models will also emerge based on this fiber grid infrastructure, which will also generate substantial employment for the youngsters of our state. Another initiative that I'm particularly proud of and particularly delighted to share with you is on electronic governance and our steps also to make this into a mobile governance. Telangana has one of the country's most comprehensive e-governance initiatives and infrastructures. We are offering more than 600 government to citizen services of 35 various government departments through our 4,000 plus customer service centers. Now, taking e-governance to the next level, very soon we will be offering all of these 600 plus services, all the government to citizen interface services via mobile applications too. Now, Telangana has also launched an e-Panchayat initiative which intends to offer a government to citizen services, financial, microinsurance and other allied services at a village panchayat level to the 9,000 odd village panchayats in the state of Telangana. These are all being operated currently by village level entrepreneurs, and most of them are women entrepreneurs. Now, I announce with a lot of pride today, after the whole demonetization that Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, has taken up, Telangana is the #1 state in terms of electronic and digital transactions in India. This stands as a testimony to the digital prowess of the state of Telangana. I also understand that it's not merely infrastructure, it's not merely the digital infrastructure that will accomplish and enable a state to be a smart state, a state to be dealing with all the issues that might emanate from this digitization initiative. So we also have a comprehensive plan, a comprehensive agenda to improve our digital literacy. Now, this is an ambitious program, and what we try to accomplish, what we are wanting to accomplish is wanting to make sure that at least one person from each and every one of these 1 million households is made digitally literate. Our Chief Minister, Honorable Sri K. Chandrasekhar Rao, believes that technology which does not bring about or alleviate the problems of a common man is of no use. A technology which cannot have a social impact, a technology which cannot bring about social innovation is futile. A couple of years back, on social innovation and in general technology innovation side, the Telangana government has taken a wonderful initiative, and we've launched India's largest technology incubator called the T-Hub. While you're in Hyderabad, I encourage all of you to visit and understand and learn on the government of Telangana's initiatives with respect to innovation and especially with respect to startups. Young Indians through T-Hub are dabbling in trying to find out solutions through technology for various sectors like agriculture, clean tech, logistics, transportation, and a variety of other sectors as well. We're already seeing some very, very promising solutions being developed at T-Hub, which houses currently more than 200 plus startups. And also I'd like to add, on the innovation side, Hyderabad and Telangana today have become synonymous with innovation and startups. Not only T-Hub, but Telangana and Hyderabad today can claim to have the largest number of technology incubators for any city in India today. We have more than 17 technology incubators, a lot of them in partnership with wonderful academic institutions, which we have housed in our own city. The government of Telangana, in fact, is also delighted to be partnering with ICRISAT, which David here is the Director General of, and he represents and was also an active partner in ICT for D. One important initiative which we believe will be of great use to the large number of farmers and a large number of workers, farm workers in the agriculture sector is being worked upon by ICRISAT. And this digitization move in the space of agriculture will definitely yield good results in days to come. Now, the new and emerging sectors, Telangana also has launched a number of initiatives, especially on data analytics, open data, cybersecurity. Now, these policies are intended to aid research and development in these emerging sectors and also facilitate new investments and create more and more employment opportunities. I'd like to make a special mention about our open data initiative launched recently. Telangana is the only second state in the country to come up with an open data policy. The government of Telangana likes to share data proactively, and we believe that this data can be used by enthusiasts to develop solutions and visualize more and more innovative approaches. I'd like to sum up by saying that Telangana state today is at the cusp of a big digital revolution, a transformative revolution. We are creating the requisite infrastructure and the requisite literacy, and we are skilling our youngsters and also promoting innovation at the same time. I wish all success to the 9th annual ICT for D conference. I hope that the thought leaders who've come from various parts of the world and the subject matter experts attending this conference will have meaningful deliberations over the next few hours and also come up with some interesting solutions for a developing nation like India as well. And when you get some free time, please do explore the charming city of Hyderabad, the city of biryani, the city of pearls, and the city with the largest number of technology incubators, the city that is also becoming slowly but steadily with innovation and open data access across the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable KTR. Unfortunately, our next keynote speaker, Minister Jayant Singh, will not be able to join us today. He deeply regrets his inability to attend this event. As a former investor in this space and in his current official capacity, he was very much looking forward to learning about the great work that organizations here are leading. Unfortunately, he felt quite ill last night and has had to cancel all of his appointments for today. But he looks forward to joining us in the future.
Well, moving ahead to our next session. The theme for the session is enabling and strengthening our cultural of data use. I would like to welcome Scarlett Thorup, Executive Vice President, Overseas Operations, Catholic Relief Services. As Executive Vice President for Overseas Operations, Scarlett Thorup oversees programming activities in more than 100 countries for Catholic Relief Services, an organization with a budget of more than 700 million and staff over 6,000. He helps ensure the fulfillment of the agency's mission with a focus on serving the poor and the marginalized, respect for human dignity, justice and peace, and partnership with local institutions. Prior to his appointment as an EVP, Scarlett oversaw the implementation of diverse programs across 17 countries. Prior to CRS, Scarlett worked for private sector division of USAID in Colombo, Sri Lanka, and was the coordinator for the Venture Capital Network of the Texas Department of Commerce. Skylar holds a bachelor's degree in Latin American Studies and Spanish from the University of Virginia, and a master's degree in Public Affairs and Latin American Studies from the University of Texas. I would like to welcome Skylar on stage.
Okay. So I'm going to start this morning talking a little bit about our ICT4D journey. Over the past 8 years, as we have come together as a community to discuss the use of ICT in the field and learn from each other, we have seen a gradual progression. In the early years of this conference, most of the discussion was focused on the ballooning use of mobile technology and networks to create digital services, services that our field staff, local civil society, and government partners could use to enhance the effectiveness of their work. We saw many organizations focus on the implementation of such technology in monitoring and evaluating their projects to efficiently collect and report data to donors. We saw others use such technology to support community health workers in reinforcing standard health protocols, or agricultural extension workers in their efforts to provide farmers with information on markets, or emergency relief workers to digitize cash for work programs. As we entered this digital world, many of us began to more fully appreciate the value of real-time data. We had high-quality information in time frames previously unimaginable. Suddenly, we could monitor the distribution of mosquito bed nets in our health programs and make real-time supply chain or staffing adjustments based on our progress. We could compare different techniques for compensating those tasked with bulking disease-resistant cassava varieties and pick the one that resulted in greater yields. We could predict pharmaceutical shortages in rural clinics and initiate restocking before they ran out. We found that it took days and weeks to obtain the information we needed to plan national-level health interventions rather than the months and years previously. Change had indeed come. We gradually realized the value of linking automated data collection systems to online platforms that allowed us to rapidly analyze, map, and visualize their output. This enabled us to gain a much better understanding of where we were working, the areas in most need of malaria interventions, the communities missed in a polio eradication campaign, or those most impacted by a recent cyclone. In Nigeria, for example, we used geotagged information to ensure complete household coverage of bed net distributions by overlaying daily team routes onto satellite imagery, and then to help identify and act upon in near real time any suspicious distribution patterns by the mobilization teams. We began to discover new sources of information and means of communication that were valuable to our efforts. We discovered the value of social media as a development tool for empowering women, monitoring elections, and obtaining feedback on our services. We began to use UAVs and crisis mapping to perform low-risk post-disaster assessments in a fraction of the time and cost that we incurred previously. We started to hear about the Internet of Things and how devices were being used to monitor everything from soil conditions to the temperature of vaccine storage units in rural clinics. India has been at the forefront of many of these developments, so it is both exciting and timely to be holding the ICT 4D conference here this year. India is a global leader in developing and scaling innovative technology solutions to humanitarian and economic development challenges. Under the government's leadership, partnerships among the government, technology companies, and NGOs are strengthening the delivery of critical services by empowering frontline workers with mobile technology and digital tools. Community health workers are using mobile phones to counsel mothers to improve their health and that of their children. Farmers receive real-time advisories about weather and crop information. Humanitarian workers use ICT tools to more rapidly and efficiently provide relief following natural disasters. So what have we learned over the course of this journey? First, we have learned the value of continually upgrading our technology portfolio with new and promising solutions and developing and deploying those solutions incrementally as they become affordable to the populations we serve, segment by segment. We have learned the value of partnering with technology providers who bring robust products and services to the table and help us adapt them to the wide variety of contexts in which we work. We have also come to understand the power of partnering with governments in scaling digital services that benefit their citizens. As the Honorable K.T. Rao mentioned, the issue of making sure technology is relevant, affordable, and credible with the population. Without it, it serves little purpose. While we have made significant progress in the use of ICTs, we have come to understand that we have a long way to go still to effectively manage and fully leverage the data that such technology unleashes into our work. It is not new to use the words evidence-based decision-making to describe the way we aspire to carry out our programs, but we are now almost overwhelmed by the explosion of possibilities. How do we identify and discern appropriate ICT to support effective progression towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals we have been committed to? It seems that our strategies must grapple with three issues. First, we must embed the use of data-driven decision-making into our standard practices for project design and program innovations. We must understand where in the process of carrying out our projects we actually make decisions, both short-term decisions which apply to a single project or initiative, and long-term decisions which inform our programs over time. We must ask questions such as, what information do we need to decide which services we will provide, to decide which communities and individuals will benefit most from those services? What information do we need to understand whether those services have been delivered, whether they are valued by the communities and individuals that receive them, whether they achieve the desired results, whether they can be improved along the way? What information do we need to compare the value of one set of services to another, to improve our approach to programming over time? Then, and for each of these questions, we need to ask ourselves, what possible sources exist for the information we need, and what possibilities do ICTs offer at what cost to make better decisions? Second, we must build the capacity to use ICT tools and the data they enable. We must invest in the digital literacy, the data literacy, and the human resources to help us leverage such tools. Some of these tools have already gained strong traction in humanitarian relief and development efforts, such as the GIS technology, while other tools which leverage big data analytics or the Internet of Things are only now emerging. We must work across sectors to ensure that these tools can be leveraged in low-resource settings. Third, we must form appropriate partnerships and make the necessary commitments to share data. We must implement the policies, processes, and infrastructure needed to share our data in a responsible way, one that honors data privacy, the data privacy needs of individuals, while providing timely information to address critical challenges from relief of quick onset disasters to the improvement of small shareholder farm businesses. We need to understand that open data sharing is a challenge in different ways for NGOs, private sector companies, and governments, and that these three sectors must work together to respond to the benefits, risks, incentives, and disincentives to open data sharing. CRS's ICT4D strategy originated in 2010, enabling the agency to rapidly grow our use of ICT solutions in our field programs and to develop monitoring and evaluation solutions, as well as toolkits that could be adapted to our signature program areas across different geographies. It also resulted in this series of annual ICT4D conferences, the 9th of which you are attending this week, which we are managing in partnership with other NGOs and many private sector businesses. Last year, we carried out an ICT data strategy refresh process, in which we set a goal of becoming a leader in the new era of extracting cost-effective insights from information for improved program innovation, learning, and adaptive management. We want to be able to determine, for instance, how CRS can leverage its GIS technology to better inform the composition, security, and impact of its emergency response teams currently operating in South Sudan. Right now, we are focused on three strategic priorities. First, using our skills in field data collection as a basis for leveraging data through innovative analytics to simplify complex data into practical information to support real-time decision-making. Second, continuing to expand our use of ICT 4D for data collection, data analysis, and project design, partnering with technology vendors to adapt services to meet our needs at scale in the most demanding of operating environments. This includes updating our core data collection, reporting, and analysis tools to focus on cost-effective scalability and usability through turnkey solutions, making data and technology more practical and accessible for CRS and our partner staff. And third, by curating a portfolio of sector-specific tools and enabling our partners to use technology sustainably, we can increase the reach and value of services in our signature program areas of emergency response and recovery, agricultural livelihoods, and health. Through strong partner and vendor engagement, we seek enhanced understanding of the on-the-ground needs and the life cycle of digital tools required to make appropriate technology choices and sustain the secure development gains once the project comes to an end. So what are we seeing in terms of implementing the strategy? Here is a good example. In 2015, a food security program to fight malnutrition and reduce childhood stunting in southern Madagascar struggled to provide community members with food rations consistently. Our hypothesis was that the food distribution sites were too far and or too difficult to reach. Having already used mobile devices to register household locations, the team used spatial analysis to develop a model of walk times from villages to potential distribution sites based on the varying topography. Using these models, new sites were selected, cutting average walk times in half and resulting in an improvement of the, quote, consistent attendance by over 27%. We at CRS believe that an effective ICT 4D strategy needs to be agile, evolving rapidly with the demands to deliver assistance and transformative change to more people. We are hoping that the information we are exposed to this week, the learning we come away with from the presentations we hear, and the discussions we participate in will help us understand how to further improve the impact of our work. Similarly, we hope that all of you will be able to do the same as you review and refine your own strategies to leverage ICT and the data it enables in your efforts to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. We have a very diverse and exciting lineup of speakers this week, over 350 different speakers across the plenary and individual tracks. In the plenary, we will be exploring innovations in data visualization and analytics, enablers and barriers to open data sharing, and 3, the impact of frontier solutions on development-related industries and, in turn, on the SDGs. Many of you will be sharing your experiences in our tracks, which are listed up here on the screen. The Agriculture and Environment track will consider ways in which technology can be used to help millions of smallholder farmers build resilient and sustainable farming businesses and to grow them into agro-enterprises that compete successfully in markets. This health track will examine ways technology can help strengthen health systems, improve universal access to health services, increase the effectiveness and quality of their delivery, and promote well-being among populations living in poverty. The Education and Livelihood track will investigate